Yeah. No, I think we're good. Hey, everyone.
Nice.
Welcome to another episode of That's All Kayfabe with me and my buddy Gabe. How you doing, Gabe?
I'm doing good, my man. How are you doing today?
Not too bad. Just back on Adderall. Just enjoying.
Man, dude. Okay. Take your prescriptions prescribed by your doctor,
Mhm.
respectfully, and, don't abuse them. But, man, Adderall's great.
Do you wanna see how it feels to be on Adderall? I could show you real quick
Sure.
on a picture here. Let me
Yeah,
see.
sure. I'm going to be scared. Oh.
I'm gonna show you
What?
a video. That's pretty much how I feel right now.
Oh, man, dude. That's great, man. It's fantastic. I used it for finals. I mean, I haven't used it since because I've been out of college for like years already. But man, if they make that over the counter,
Oh man. We'd have a lot of yeah, smarter. I don't know if we'd have smart people. I don't know cuz people would abuse it. I'm not trying to abuse it cuz my anxiety levels kind of balance it out where I can't take too much of it cuz I'll be too scared. So,
nah,
I
I
can
feel
only
you.
yeah, I can only take too much or little, but I'm not here to this isn't that show. I'm not here to vent about my medication.
Okay, let's just switch. Let's switch over to that's all funny real quick, and then we'll talk
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. Switch over
Oh
the
man,
backgrounds. Nah. Speaking of medication, nah, I don't know. What do we have here on the docket first?
what do we
Uh,
have here on the docket?
Ric Flair, I believe.
Oh
Let me
man,
read
good
it.
thing Richard listens to our podcast because this is gonna get him excited.
Oh yeah, he always wants to open with a Ric Flair segment, and it's not too hard to open up with one. Ric Flair via Busted Open Radio said that he pitched turning heel on Sting at Revolution to close the pay per view, and Tony Khan asked him to not blade and cut himself. Rick said, "I haven't heard back from them since." Rick, that's a great idea. We'll call you later, and that's it. That's how he left it. What do you think about Ric Flair being left on red by Tony Khan?
Dude is so fucking stupid. Well, what the fuck are you gonna blame yourself? Why are you gonna turn heel on Sting's big night, bro? It ain't about you.
Yeah, but
that
dude, he literally had like a heart attack at his final match. Like he's barely making it. He's living the best life right now. Like, why does he need to make it about himself when it was obviously about Sting? That
Oh
moment.
man, I remember you had purchased Ric Flair's last match, and you actually sent that to me so that way I could watch it. Which again, I appreciate it. And my brother and I, we watched all the matches. The matches were really fucking good. I think there was like like a trios match, like between some of the luchadors. And then Ric Flair's match comes on, and like we're just watching it and watching it, not reacting, but just watching it. And I look at Richard, he's kind of just, and then it's making me just go,
Dude, that whole match, I was like, "Don't die, don't die!" Like I was anxious because I felt like we were gonna see a live death on pay per view. Well, I mean, I guess that isn't too bad, but that's what I thought was gonna happen.
yeah, I thought so too. Like he just, I don't know, man. He should just call it quits. I feel like Sting went out the right way, but I feel like the Young Bucks kind of did him dirty, where it's like, oh, you have to go through the table, you have to go through like fucking panes of glass,
Dude,
you have to take a BTE trigger, you have to take a Belter driver, and then you kick
oh,
out at one. You could do that, but I think Sting is the only person I will let slide that could kick out at one or like no sell like a chair shot or a table move because I feel like he deserves it.
yeah, it worked out for that match. Other than the Young Bucks inserting themselves, because it was the Young Bucks, right? Like that. If I remember, yeah, where that part of that match, like they literally could have did FTR and it would have been like better. I'm sure.
Yeah, and I think from what was said was that is what Sting wanted. He wanted it to be the tag match against the Young Bucks, I guess, because what I'm assuming is that they helped make the company and they gave him a platform to assert himself.
Mhm.
Have a good final run, which I totally understand. But it's like it goes back to the whole conversation of I'm just tired of the Young Bucks already.
No, definitely. And I mean, Okada is kind of fun right now, but the Young Bucks. But again, we're just here talking about Flair and how he wanted to just make it about himself and bleed everywhere. And it's like, dude, you don't need to bleed everywhere, every time, every place. You can
He's
you
and
can
he
just
goes
relax.
he's in the back. You don't want me to bleed. You don't want me to bleed. And then he just started blading himself in front of Tony. He's like, Rick, it's okay. Like, there's nothing recording. This ain't just a real gun right here. Damn it. Ah. And then, like, his hair's already, like, crimson blood because he's, like,
Yeah.
mixing it in there.
Well,
Ah.
it's like the
Ah.
doctors told him, like, hey, you need to drain your blood every day. Like you can build up in your head. He's like, all right, then I'll just blade every day. You don't want me to blade. You don't want me to blade.
So, well, good thing I'm a professional wrestler.
Ah,
Ah. Ah.
ah. I
This
have a
fucking
tweet
guy,
here.
man.
I have a tweet here. I don't know if he. This is what Ric Flair said. This was, I don't know what day was this, on July 17th, so not too long ago. How in the hell on God's green earth is Ric Flair not considered to be one of the top 100 athletes in the world? I should actually be in the top 10. 16 world titles, actually 22, 1,200-hour matches, 15 years without a day off, a cultural icon and a worldwide sensation. Good Lord, so many people have lost sight of what greatness truly is. I never pulled out with a calf muscle strain. Now the times have changed. What a bunch of bitches. I get Tom Brady and all that, but come on, let's get serious. And I just thought that was funny to insert because this wasn't that long ago from this. This was on what day?
This
This
was
whole thing
5 days
about
ago.
Busted Open Radio. This was the 15th. So on the 17th is when Ric Flair put out this. What do you think about him not being one of the top 100 athletes in the world?
I could probably name at least 10 that are better than him. Well, like you said, Tom Brady, Tim Duncan. No one can beat Tim Duncan.
Oh, dude.
Oh
Jordan,
man,
obviously.
Jordan, Kobe, Shaq is pretty good. I think Shaq could beat the fuck out of Ric Flair. Oh, are we talking about accolades or who could beat the fuck out of Ric Flair?
I mean, I don't know if they could beat the fuck out of him because he'd be fucking everything. No, I don't know. I don't know. I think he deserves a spot in a separate, obviously, category of like sports entertainers. But I don't know if he's. I mean, yeah, back in the territory days, he was doing crazy shit, like he's saying, with all the hour-long matches he would have, and we'll talk about another hour-long match later on. But um, I mean, it was pretty amazing. But now the things that athletes do now are even just as amazing, if not more.
Like he was a um like I don't want to say role model, but like he was like a large stepping stone in like the sports entertainment business as far as like have you ever seen Ric Flair match like from the 80s or 90s? Like he was actually very, very good.
I've read about them, like actually, how the star, or like the matches he would do. He was even, what was he, one of the matches in Korea?
Oh, and WCW went to Korea.
I don't know if it was him against like Muhammad Ali or something in Korea. I forget,
I
but
think it was him, Muhammad Ali, or him versus
like
what's
a
the name of?
boxer,
Yeah,
Foreman or Frazier or somebody.
yeah, I want to say it was Muhammad Ali. I mean, that's a big accolade itself, but I don't know.
I
I
can look
legit
it
feel
up.
like
Who
maybe Muhammad Ali could beat the shit out of me too.
who did Ric Flair fight in Korea?
Yeah, in Kroger's.
Kroger's. He traveled to North Korea. When Ric Flair traveled to North Korea for the biggest wrestling show of all time.
Was that the
And
one? I thought it was like a tag match he had like with the Road Warriors. Cause I
yeah, it
remember
said
the
something
Road
about the
Warriors were
Road
there.
Warriors here. Yeah, the show
Um,
took place in '95, was dubbed the International Sports and Cultural Festival for Peace by the North Korean government. and invited 300,000 plus people to cram it in the Mayday Stadium. Uh, Legendary Japanese wrestlers, along with American grapplers and Antonio Inoki.
Antonio Inoki, there you go. That was his name.
Mm-hmm. He even got Bischoff to convince Muhammad Ali to join them, greeting in the crowd. So it was with WCW.
Yeah, okay. So I remember he was there, but I don't think they had wrestled each other. I think for the most part, it was like WCW wrestlers versus WCW wrestlers. Well, I think it was probably Antonio Inoki that fought Muhammad Ali.
Mm.
I want to say it was
Okay.
that. That's another another sports person I'll put above Ric Flair, Antonio Inoki. So I think I named
So
my 10 already.
yeah, I mean, well, it says top 100, and I would say Ric Flair is like a cultural icon, and yeah, if you separate the man from the art of how he's kind of like living past his prime, uh, you could say otherwise, but yeah, he does hold his spot in like the culture, or with the Ric Flair drip, or the woo that on the chop that will never go away.
I'll
You're always gonna
never go away.
yeah, you're gonna hear woo every time a chop is done. So I don't know. I like Ric Flair a lot. I just don't know if I'd consider him in my top 100, but
I don't think I'll put him in my top 100, but he is. I feel like, especially today, he is a large pop culture icon, even if he doesn't want to be. But it's just like you said, he has such a hit influence in like the hip hop community, in wrestling itself. Woo Wings, Woo Coin. I'm pretty sure he has like a fragrance or something like that.
the energy drink woo.
Yeah, the energy drink. Like he's still making a name for himself, and that's good and everything. But I don't think I would put him on my top 100 list. I'm pretty sure I could make a top 100 list of like better athletes and stuff. But not to take away the fact like he is a large pop culture icon and everything he's done for the business. But like you said too, he's a little bit past his prime already. He should just like take it easy.
Yeah, I feel like if he had done sort of like what the Undertaker, or what well, the Undertaker, he did it on his own terms. Sting did it on his own terms. Um
John Cena now.
John Cena, Mankind kind of did it against his own terms, but he was kind of forced to. But their legacy is like cemented. And Ric Flair, I feel like every time, like, he doesn't need to say this, it should automatically be said. But whenever
Mm-hmm.
he's out kind of saying it, it diminishes it. It's like, I don't know, Rick, like you're kind of making yourself sound giving people an argument to say you're not on that top of the list if you're having to say you are.
As an old man yells at cloud, pretty much. But I mean, I wouldn't take away the fact that people would still put him on like their list.
Yeah.
Richard obviously
Mhm.
has him as number one and number two. Actually, I think he has them for 16 for like each belt he's won. I'm
I
just
thought it
like,
was I thought it was for 16 for the age of anime characters. Richard, like,
oh no! I love you, Richard, man. Oh man,
that's where I thought you were going with that. But yeah, no, 16 for the belts, or 22, whatever.
I know, and I tell Richard, I was like, "Hey man, it's your list. Like you can do whatever you want with it, but I don't think that's how that works."
Yeah.
And
No.
then he just woo, and he chops me. Just
Mhm.
it hurts. Richard uses his whole forearm. I'm just like, that's not how it works. And then like I try to catch my breath.
Yeah, and he's all his hands all calloused up from all the burns from
I don't know from all the
baking shit,
burns. I know baking that bread and
making that
for
bread.
carrying a bakery on his back. We love you, Richard.
We do we woo in solidarity for Richard.
I'm over the silence for Richard, and then you just hear the an off distance. Woo,
You just
woo, woo,
you just hear the off
woo,
distance
woo. Just dancing on the table like that.
the ice cream man.
Oh, I caught him. I caught him today, man. He showed up early because every time we record, he shows up like a little after 2. This
Mm-hmm.
time he showed up at 1:30, and I told just, babe, where's my wallet? Oh my god! And I grabbed my $4 and I got myself a bomb pop.
Hell yeah, that American dream bomb pop,
Dude, but inflation, man, the shit was like 250.
dude. Even there, it's terrible.
I'm glad Biden's stepping down.
Speaking of our leaders and whatever, we go on to the next thing we have here about Dalton Castle
Oh no.
getting injured. And here's Tony Khan with a tweet: some injury news that's forced changes to the plans for this Friday's Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor. The Dalton Castle was injured in the Saturday night AEW collision bout last week versus Roderick Strong. Sadly, Dalton will be out of action for the remainder of 2024. Get well soon, Dalton Castle.
Damn, that's sad to hear, man.
Yeah, when I heard like that he got hurt and then it's like for the remainder of 2024, I was like, what? Like, that's like 6 months, right? 5, 6 months.
And I'm just there thinking, like, how bad was the hit? Because
I have the hit
okay.
here, I think, but we could show like a little bit of it. Let's see if you can. Let me put this down. Let me see if you can.
Yes.
Not get the hold, but the knee lift connected. 1, 2.
So it was, I think, that knee, right? Because
Yeah, that was the exact move that knocked him out.
let me see here.
No, again, don't. Oh, could not get the hold, but the knee lift connected. 1, 2.
Yeah, and after that knee, the ref was like calling for help, trying to get him help or something. Like he really got knocked out. And I mean, it didn't look bad. Like the knee looked like a normal knee, but I guess
and he looked like he sold it well too.
yeah, but I guess he's selling it too well because he actually knocked him loopy. But I feel bad because I like Dalton Castle. You know, that's
Me too,
terrible.
dude. Like he's super fucking funny. And
Yeah.
just like a good wrestler in general. It didn't look bad, but from what I heard was that luckily this was pre-taped. So when it aired on Friday, that they were able to edit out some stuff and everything. That after the knee, he was supposed to kick out, obviously, but the ref did to stop, and then Dalton Castle just didn't get up, and Roderick Strong was kind of just like what the fuck is going on, like kind of confused, whatever, and then like Roderick just went back for the second pin, and then they just went with the pin, so they added the first pin and then the end of the second pin to make it look like it was continuous.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. It was that bad that they edited it like that? That's terrible.
Yeah, so they just had it like that to where they just told them to go home.
Change the finish. Yeah. They were just like, no, let's just finish it there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a good match too. I mean, I like Dalton Castle and I like Roderick Strong too, but it's unfortunate. I wonder what the injury is since he's going to be out for the remainder of the year. Like, it must be kind of serious, which I hope it's not.
Yeah, me too. But that I don't know. That's just like if it's a real injury and not like kayfabe, then it's like, man, that's gotta suck to get just hit in the head like that, and then you're out for 6 months. Like,
I know. I feel like that's a good step, though. Well, I don't know. In like their injury protocol, because we talked about how bad their injury protocol has
yeah,
been in the past. I guess that's good because they're like, oh, he's not getting up. I was like, do you want to pin him or you want to fucking do your end of heartache finisher where you lift him up and fucking break his back? It's up to
I
you,
would.
Roddy.
Well, we didn't see the fucking footage. Who knows if they, kind of talked about it for a while that dude was knocked out, and they're
There's a
just like,
fucking interference with the ref, distracting the ref. The other dude gets on the top rope, does a fucking headbutt, like the flying headbutt.
bring in a chair and the belt, and no, I don't know.
Put the chair around his neck, step on the chair, and then they went for the pin. They're like, no, they just went for the pin, man, and he just didn't kick out.
I don't know. I'm still like, man, I just feel like they keep saying it's the safest place to be, and people keep getting hurt. But this is something like, it. I don't know. Like, it looks like they were doing safe. They weren't doing crazy shit. On
Mm-hmm.
this Matt. It just sometimes things just happen, and that's what we could say on this one,
Yeah, like there was that same that's exact same move years ago that Rollins did to Cena. Do you remember when Rollins broke Cena's nose in the middle of the match? Did you
I
ever see
think
that?
so. I think so. Yeah, and it was bleeding.
Yeah, it was at the same move too, and they showed it in slow motion. You just see like his face move, and his nose just like stays in place and fucking contorts.
Oh
And I'm
man,
like, fuck, dude. And just for him to go and like finish that match too, like, I don't know. Maybe it's different with broken noses because it doesn't affect like your wrestling. Well, I feel like it will fuck up your vision.
it would
You
fuck up
know?
your breathing too. I think if
Yeah,
you're
because
trying,
like the blood's just filling up in your nose like
hmm
constantly.
you got to breathe through your mouth and not any more through your nose and mouth.
Yeah, it's like might choke on that shit, man. It's kind of scary.
But speaking of scary, we got this other injury with Sky Blue and Hikaru Shida, and I don't know if you could see it here. Let me see.
Crying and complaining. Oh! Big risk for Flair.
And
The
see,
winner of the
they
match.
stopped the match pretty much right after that. That's how the clip is showing it. But if you look, kind of like when she falls on her leg, you see how her left leg is right there.
Uh huh.
Let me see if I could full screen it. But her left leg here is kind
Oh,
of
it's
like
like turned.
it's like twisted, right?
Uh huh.
Like her knee fucking twisted. You see it? Right there, her
Yeah.
left. Yeah. Oh, that's nasty.
Is it? Cause I know on Twitter, Kyle Fletcher posted a video. I mean, a picture of her leg wrapped up in bandages. So like she's at home now. I don't know. They did like a procedure or what, but it's all bandaged up. And
Really?
I want to say it was her right leg. I'm not too sure. But for our audio listeners, Sheeta was on the second rope as she did like a springboard crossbody onto the floor where Sky Blue was. And it looked pretty normal for the most part. Like she caught her and like they fell back, but I guess like when they're on the way down, all of Sheeta's weight like collapsed on her leg and the ref called the match, which is good on the ref's part because they probably wanted to do 2 Canadian destroyers after this spot.
Yeah. Or pull out tables. This
Pull
is
out
like
tables with thumbtacks.
I feel bad, dude. I really like Sky Blue, and for her to like that looks painful for your knee to get like twisted like that. This reminds me of what's his name? Dante?
Oh, Dante Martin.
Yeah, do you remember when he did that like jump and his leg was just like completely twisted? And you could
Uh
see he
huh.
looked all like you could see it in their face how they look in pain, but then also like there goes my fucking next 6 months or 8 months. Like,
Yeah, whereas like even then that's like fucking career ending. Like if it's not like healed properly,
no, it's
I know.
terrible.
I think it was Dante Martin. Because what was it? It was a Canadian destroyer. I mean,
Man, it was, it
like
might
through a
have
table,
been.
right?
Yeah, but it was like through two or three different tables, two tables off of a ladder with a luchador or something, and yeah, it was like a weird ass move where you're like, that's not safe, and then they did it, and you're like, I knew something bad was gonna happen because he like
It,
completely missed the tables or something.
yeah, and I was thinking too. It's like, man, it's a Canadian destroyer. I was more worried about his neck, let alone like his leg getting broken and all fucking contorted out of place and everything.
Mm-hmm.
There was that one. And I remember a few years ago, I want to say it was one of, oh my God, what's his name? TK O'Reilly. I think that's his name. This guy, he did a moonsault off the top rope, like to the crowd of guys, like catching them during a Ring of Honor pay per view. But the thing is, it's only like 3 feet of space between the ring and the barricade, right? Because it's in a small venue. So when he did it, his leg hit the barricade, and his leg just folded in half, like right over the barricade. But it was just like a quick snap, and he was out for a bunch of months too.
Terrible.
It's
Where
scary, man. Scary, scary, scary.
I don't
But
know.
it's
I want to like say AEW is trying to be safer, but I just feel like they need more training with their wrestlers. And even though these were two veterans, Hikaru Shida's pretty like she's worked a lot, and so has Sky Blue. So I just feel
Mhm.
bad. This is another one of those, just like the Dalton Castle, where maybe it just happens. You know what I mean?
Like just a freak accident. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's to a speedy recovery for both of them. I'm a fan of both of them. I love Sky Blue and I love Dalton Castle as well. So
Yeah.
hopefully they're able to recover to the full extent. I'm trying to see if I could turn on this light switch with a tape measure.
Your handy dandy tape measure.
Ah, it ain't gonna work because I wanted to turn on the fan. It's all good.
I know next year on the docket we could talk about, what do you want to talk about? No, we can talk about
I
Cody.
know what you were talking about.
What do you want to talk about? Cody Rhodes. Have you seen his new podcast? That what do you want to talk about?
I've been wanting to. I'm probably gonna watch it after this, after we record, because I really want to see the LA Knight episode. But for those who don't know, Cody
Mhm.
Rhodes has like his own little makeshift podcast. Would you say called? What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, it looks like it's, what is it? It's sponsored by that Wheatley vodka, and yeah, he just has like a little WWE, kind of like how you say the up up down down, like it's a WWE type thing.
Uh huh.
Well, I don't know if they're a WWE type thing now, but like where he just does it with WWE, and it's a little makeshift podcast, like he said. And he
Hmm.
had Bailey as his first guest, and they just drink like a little thing of vodka, and then talk talk about anything, like about the wrestling and then the run. And he had LA Knight next, and I watched both of them, and they're entertaining. They're
Nah, they look entertaining. I kind of like, the little behind the scenes shit where it's just like wrestlers just casually talking just about life in general. Kind of like humanizes them as like regular people. I mean, they are regular people, but it's like they're professional athletes and stuff like on a whole different level.
And I love that you have like the biggest star right now of WWE like hosting it. Like, I don't know, it just makes it even more better that he's doing it, and it's not like, I don't know. I wouldn't mind if it was like Samantha Irving or something, or
Hmm.
maybe one of the other fucking media people there. But with Cody Rhodes doing it, it makes it seem like, oh, it matters when he says, you know what, I'm the face of the company, but you could easily be there too, to them, or when he tells them that he's proud of them or their accolades, like it really carries weight to it.
It really does. Have you watched anything else like interview wise from WWE like that? 'Cause I know, like for example, what was it that was? Oh, Backlash because they were in France and not Samantha Irvin. It was Kayla Braxton. She was
Mhm.
walking around France with Kevin Owens because Kevin Owens is Canadian, so he knows a lot of French. And I
I did
think,
see that.
yeah, they were just like walking around France. It's like beautiful country and everything. And like Kevin Owens was just talking about how like French was his first language, the English was the second language. And now it's got to the point where he still knows French, but he feels like he's forgotten some stuff here and there. And it's just like, man, that's kind of cool to hear. Like, just their lifestyle outside of watching like a regular documentary.
Yeah, it's very, I don't know, like the documentaries aren't scripted, of course, but you can tell they're heavily edited, which there's nothing against it, that it's done well, the documentaries. But
Hmm.
these are more loose, like they're just going out shooting stuff. And I like to, or even the podcast, it's, or his, what do you want to talk about, whatever. It seems more just like a podcast, because it's just a couple cameras set up in his bus.
Hmm.
And it's, I don't know, it feels more raw. No, I don't know.
He's gonna puke.
But what we're talking about right now is actually, he had an interview with Chris Van Vliet, and Cody Rhodes talks about a few things. He was with them for, I don't remember how long it was, hour, maybe, right?
Like hour,
Uh,
hour and a half.
Maybe. And Cody Rhodes talks about the end of his run in AEW, how AEW ended was terrible, really, and people are going to write books later on, and these stories are going to get out there, and then it's going to be a whole new ball game. Regardless of any petty squabbles, I will always have a love for it. I got to wrestle Brody Lee's final match I got to lead people, young people behind the scenes. I always have a love for that. And what do you think about his? Did you watch the Chris Fast crab applesauce? Crisscross applesauce. Did you watch the Chris Van Vliet podcast?
I didn't get to. I just saw like little highlights here, like wrestle purists. Like I saw like the quotes and stuff, but I kind of want to watch the whole thing just to get like the better inside of it. Because the one thing I'm confused is like how AEW ended was terrible. Is he talking about his run in
Yeah,
AEW?
his run. Yeah,
Okay. I don't know. It's like I feel like it's just fans. I don't necessarily think it was him because if he was I feel like if he was really doing work for himself, he would have been champion there for a fucking long time. Uh, I felt like he was doing okay. I like Cody Rhodes in general. Like I was always a fan of him. Like after he left WWE the first time, like in 2017, 2018, I want to say, and then he built up that name for himself. But I feel like that was just more on the fans shitting on him because it's a whole different community of wrestling fans that he has to work with. And cause it's like more like a hardcore fan base. Like, oh, like here he comes again. Like everyone's gonna get fucking tired of him and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's necessarily his fault. But then again, too, it can also be on Tony Khan as well because like, oh, like we love you. Like we like to have you, on every week. Kind of get like the Orange Cassidy treatment where it's like you got to see him like every fucking week. And then it's just like an oversaturation of the wrestler, and then that's what gets fans tired.
well, that and I remember he did he want to be babyface so bad, and he just didn't want to turn heel, like at all, and the fans like didn't want him babyface at all, if I remember. But he was like, no, I'm not gonna. I don't know. I feel like he would have been obviously like a better heel. The same with like the Young Bucks. How well now they're turning heel, right, after so long, but they had to because the fans were turning against them. But I think if he had turned heel, it would have been a whole new ball game. But he didn't want to at all, if I
Mm-hmm.
remember correctly. He just did not want to turn heel.
I think I remember seeing that. That sounds right. That does sound right. Um, but I feel like it will just work. I feel like it will work wonders for him if he was to turn heel. Maybe not right now because I feel like he's doing a bunch of great stuff as a babyface. But if he prolongs his championship reign and like midway through he becomes a heel, then whoever he passes the belt on to, it can mean like a little bit much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I feel like that would help.
I definitely think back then AEW should have been a heel. I think now, the way the Homelander is kind of tied to him with that he could be an anti-hero maybe, because I know
Mm-hmm.
that match he did with AJ Styles, he was very like, oh, I'm gonna beat his ass, I'm gonna make him say I quit, and then he said I quit, and he still like threw the stairs at him, and people cheered. So I think he could be a good like villain that is cheered, you know.
Yeah, he looks like a villain and he looks like a hero too. Like he can play both roles very well. I feel like that tattoo kind of looks like a little bit like a biker style. And you know who else are bikers? The Banditos,
The Hell's Angels.
the Hell's Angels, the
Mhm.
Hell Satans from The Simpsons. Um,
The what's that man, what's that club Homer's in? The
uh,
Fighting Fish, or the no,
oh,
I'm thinking of the one Abraham Simpson is in.
the stone
The
masons,
The Stone
stone
Cutters,
cutters.
maybe.
Oh
I don't
man,
know.
yeah, they'd be called the Cody Cutters. Oh.
Oh, what else does Cody have to say here? Because I know at the beginning of this interview, I remember it was all WWE stuff, and then at the end of the interview, he started actually asking him about AEW, and I was actually surprised. But I don't think he mentions AEW. Like here, he says, "I just remember and it says AEW in parentheses. So I don't think he said AEW, but he said like the other company, or
Oh,
you
but
know what
like
I
what
mean?
he was implying that he was implying AEW.
Yeah, he says I just remember AEW lovingly, and I also knew I was leaving. I knew it was a season. I knew this wasn't going to last, and I knew there was something greater for me out there. And I know that might sound negative to people, but it's not. That's the biggest prize in the wrestling game. And that's, like I said, I know Chris Van Vliet was bringing up AEW, and you could tell Cody was avoiding saying the company's name by saying
Mm-hmm.
like the other company or over there or, you know,
Mm-hmm. Like them, they,
they.
it.
Yeah, that those were its pronouns when he was speaking of the other company. But um, yeah, I mean, I could see him like what he still holds like love for it because that was his creation. No, like AEW. I know you know a little bit more about it, the beginnings than I do.
If I remember correctly, it consisted of Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Cody, and was it Marty Scurll? No, he was just part of the elite at the time. And Hangman. It was Hangman. It
Mhm.
was the five of them, and they were the ones because they started the pay per view, which was All In. I think the very first All In, like in 2019, and that one was a good wrestling show, but it was just like a mixed bag of independent wrestlers that sold out like the arena in Chicago. I think it's the Allstate Arena. No. It might be. I'm not too sure.
Mhm.
But it was a good first wrestling show. But I think they were just trying to get their feet in like learning how the production works as far as like how do you say how much time you're able to have because you rented out the building for so long or like where the hard cameras at, like learning about all that stuff, especially for like a bunch of the independent wrestlers who aren't used to that because they're used to like traveling to other companies and it's different for everybody else.
Mhm.
And it was good. And then eventually they had the press conference where Jericho said he was all elite and they had a bunch of other popular independent wrestlers sign up. And it was just a good start. Like it really was. And you know, like not necessarily bad for the company either because they produce like a lot of great wrestling, bunch of great wrestling. But it just sucks because he says like toward the end they kind of left like a sour taste in his mouth. But I mean, he's doing good for himself either way, so that's a positive that came out of all of that.
No, definitely. And the last snippet here uh of the interview, I hated that in the Young Bucks book they said I was last to the signing because that's a big thing. Some of the AEW defenders who don't realize they're turning people off to their product more than they're turning people on. That's one of the things that people always cite. Oh, he was last. He wasn't that big a deal to the origin. No, this guy here who's off camera was the first person to ever meet Tony, and he met him in a vetting process for all of us. So yes, I guess I was the last, and yes, I had different thoughts, and it's not incorrect at all what they said. Yes, it's not incorrect, but I was just in on it as well as anybody else. So yeah, I guess that's him saying that just because he was last doesn't mean he was less important to it.
I know they all had a big foot in it. Like I feel like that's important because it's like a fucking team effort, you know. Like
Yeah, like you just said.
yeah, like obviously the biggest thing was getting Tony Khan to back up the thing, but I still haven't read the book. I have the Young Bucks book, and I just never came across to reading it. I mean, not that I don't want to. It's just like I was reading Moxley's book, and man, that shit's just jumbled up, man. It's very very weird. I feel like it's all out of chronological order. So I'm just like, okay, so this is before G1. Oh, okay, he's talking about when he's a kid. Okay, so he's back in the G1. Now he's talking about Bucky's. That's cool. I love Bucky's. So then I went to Bucky's. I was like, wait, what am I doing?
Oh yeah, I'm reading a book.
Yeah, I'm reading a book.
No, I mean, yeah, like you just said earlier about how the origin started. just because he was last to the table doesn't mean he's just as unimportant. But that's what the Young Bucks are making it seem like, and I guess that's the arguments that are always go, well, he was the last to sign or the last to help out, and it's like that doesn't mean he's any less important than the first or the second or the third, you know?
Yeah. And it's a shame too because I remember like 2019, Ring of Honor was becoming like bigger and like having a lot more popularity. And now I feel like they're back in the same starting grounds of like, not that much people really know about it, or it's not advertised properly to where I'm like, oh fuck yeah, like I'll watch it. Well, now I know they're showing it next Friday. Womp womp. I'm not gonna see it because I work.
No, because usually, especially like WWE, they build these up months in advance, so we know, oh, it's going to be at SummerSlam, and we know SummerSlam's like a month and a half away, 6 weeks away. So we know, okay, we could fucking ask for the day off at work or get off early or something. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean that sucks for Cody. I feel for Cody. Because he's not a bad guy at all in this whole situation. I feel like he does want the success of AEW because he still has a lot of friends over there. But it's like he's the face of WWE now, the company he's in now. So I totally get that he's trying to put on like a poker face. Not a poker face, that's the wrong term. But like he has to put on a face to be like, oh, like he's actually a company man. Like, he doesn't really want to talk about AEW until he's ready to talk about it.
I think he hates that the people think of it that way, but also I think he knows that the right people know what the truth is. You know what I mean? And he hates that the book says otherwise, or the public's perception might be, oh, Cody didn't care because he was the last to be there, but he did put all he could into it, and then now he's here at WWE, obviously putting all he can into it too. He doesn't want people thinking otherwise because it's not true. He cared just as much. He wasn't 1 foot out the door over there. He was like, "Nah, I care just as much as anyone here, if not more." And that's how I feel now in this other company too.
Yeah. He just wants the success for everybody, and I'm all
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. No, he's a good egg, as they say. Um, but speaking of WWE, I don't know if you saw. Well, I'm pretty sure you saw this because I sent it to you. Call of Duty slam into Call of Duty Season 5 with new WWE superstars. Uh, there's an eagle emoji. Cody, the American Nightmare Rhodes. There's a muscle armed emoji. Rhea, Bloody Ripley, and there's a crown emoji, and the living legend himself, Rey Mysterio. What do you think of these three picks being in the new Call of Duty season?
Can you click on the pictures real quick? I didn't even get to see the pictures up close.
So there's Cody.
Okay.
There's Rhea. Dang, she looks good.
I was just good there, dude.
Yeah, I like how she has her long hair. Like you don't see it very well here, but she has her long hair. You see like the ponytail right there.
Ooh, okay.
So she had dirty dong. That's funny.
Oh
Yes,
man.
she does have long
Yeah,
hair.
she's fucking dirty. Yeah.
And then you see Rey Mysterio. Well, that's a bad picture. Here's Rey Mysterio, which I feel like you'd have an advantage playing as Rey Mysterio since he's so short. He'd have a smaller.
Ooh, he's the odd job of Call of Duty.
Yeah, he's harder to hit. His hitbox.
Oh my god! I think it's so funny. The next picture is just Cody dragging Rey Mysterio through the. I don't know. It looks like the treadmill
swing.
at the treadmill at like a grocery store, like where
Oh
they scan your
yeah,
items.
yeah. You're right. It is like a checkout stand.
Man, were you ever into Call of Duty?
I loved like the first and second Call of Duty because my brother was really into it. The original, I'm sorry, the Modern Warfares, the 1 and 2.
Oh man, that's
Yeah, they were perfect. And then when you get into like the rest of them, or even zombies, I wasn't really into. I just never got into it. And then Now I tried it, the what is it, the battle royales, the bigger
Mhm.
Call of Duties, and I'm not good at it. I'm just not good at it. What about you?
Man, I haven't played Call of Duty in a good while. I like the original Modern Warfare. It's like you said, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, and then there was Modern Warfare 2 that came out like 2010, I think 2009, 2010. That was fucking awesome. Uh, those are the ones I remember I have fond memories of. I'm sorry. And then I'm trying to think. I had stopped after Black Ops 3, and then they started producing a fucking fuckload more.
Dude, like
And
two every year at a certain point, I think, right?
yeah, man, it's just an oversaturation. Still making hella money. It's crazy. And then now, I'm trying to think, what is it that's out now? Modern Warfare 2? Because they re-released Modern Warfare 2.
I have no idea.
Dude, yeah, it's just a big old thing, but now they have like the battle passes and you can buy like for the V-Bucks and shit like that. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, you can get Cheech and Chong and other people, but this is pretty interesting. And here's a clip here of Rhea Ripley, just a real quick one.
Yeah.
Let's see. So yeah, you could see her with her long hair.
Man, do you think she stinks?
Huh?
Do you think she stinks?
Like what?
I don't know. Just something nice.
Do I think she smells good?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm sure she smells great. She probably. I couldn't tell you what she smells like, but
She probably smells like a circle pit. And
she
I'm
probably
about
smells
it.
like cinnamon or pan dulce if she's hanging out with Dominic.
Bon Dulce.
Real
Damn,
Mexican
dude. I think after this, I'm gonna get some fucking Bon Dulce.
dude, or like an
Damn.
empanada, like a pumpkin one.
Ooh, yeah, they got. You ever tried the sweet potato ones?
Dude, those are good. Those are
Dude,
fucking good.
Giselle just got me hooked on sweet potatoes since we moved in together.
They're actually very good. Sweet
Oh
potatoes.
yeah, I was like, "How's this good for me?" I was like, "They're sweet. There's sugar. There has to be sugar in here. This is full of potassium." I was like, "That's crazy, mind blowing."
I think it's full of even more than that. It's let me Google and I don't know. Let's
Like,
start.
let's switch over. That's all funny. Real quick, and Google
Yeah,
about
let's talk about sweet potatoes and how great they are and what they're used for.
Man, we need to do an episode that's all funny where we just ramble on about random shit. That'd be pretty great. I'll listen to it.
That is just what I do pretty much here.
Hell
Or I'm
yeah.
sorry, over there. Here it actually has a sort of a format to it. Here, the new multiplayer mode in Modern Warfare 3. Oh, so it is Modern Warfare 3. Called Slam Deathmatch. Your weapon only downs the enemy. You must do a WWE finishing move to get the points.
I like that. That's a
It's
kind of
interesting.
okay. First off, a running bulldog is not a finisher. Come on.
It used to be back in the day
Back
with
in
the British Bulldog.
was that really his finisher? Like
I'm pretty
literally?
sure it was, or that, or the just like a slam, like just like a high press slam.
Oh, the press slam when he has it like that.
Yeah, I think that might have been. But dude, the Bulldog, yeah, that Bulldog used to be a finisher. I remember using it in like the arcade, WWF WrestleMania arcade game at Pizza Hut or whatever.
Damn, bro, I haven't. You opened up a Vietnam flashback for me.
Man,
See,
Rhea Ripley does look good though.
I know. She looks like she's going for an unprotected headshot, and I don't respect that. Does she know that there's CT scans? It's okay. I forgive her. It's Rhea Ripley.
Well, she has her long hair, so I forgive her, and it'll probably cut it. Like in WWE when they show the chair shot, and
Oh,
then
but they freeze it, and then it cuts
to the next moment. Yeah.
Oh man, great shit. Is this gonna influence you to buy Modern Warfare 3?
No, I don't
I
think
respect
so.
that. You know what? I think I have this one. Modern Warfare 3, I want to say, because someone had bought it and they let me download it, and I played for a little bit, and I felt like I was going to have a brain aneurysm if I kept playing it, so I stopped.
Speaking of brain aneurysms, this you sent me, and we were talking about Rey Mysterio 4 years ago today, which was the 20th. Yesterday, as we record this, the
Oh,
infamous Seth Rollins
man.
versus Rey Mysterio eye for an eye match. They should have made this a finisher in
God, I
the
know.
Call of
In
Duty
Call of
games.
Duty, that would have been fucking
Yeah,
badass. Did you ever see the shit? Did you
I
see this
think
match?
I think I did, and I don't remember why. I don't know if it was you or Leo. Shout out to Leo. I haven't seen him in a while, but
I know. Hope you're good,
uh,
Leo.
yeah, Leo's cool. I don't know if you or him were telling me about it, and then I watched it, and whenever his eye like actually comes out and Seth Rollins starts puking or something, and I was like, "Is this wrestling?" Like, I think this was still me on the fence about like getting back into wrestling, and I was just like, "What is this?" Like, this was so
Dude,
weird.
I remember when they led up to it, Rey Mysterio asked for this match, like an eye for an eye match, that the loser has to get, like, the loser's eye has to pop out or something like that. And I'm just, and like me, I'm just, as a wrestling fan, I'm like, okay, I want to see how stupid this is gonna look. I was like, either that or they're gonna pay him fucking tons of money to get their fucking eye ripped out. And I just saw the match, like everything that happened, and I'm just there in my chair, like, not from like, oh my god, like that's the craziest shit I've seen, but more like, oh my god, I cannot believe I just wasted my time watching this shit. It's not because I remember the match was good.
Mhm.
Like Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio, hell yeah, dude, sign me up for that shit. I'll watch that 20 times over. Just not this match. Fuck that.
Well, that would have been a good finishing maneuver in Call of Duty. I don't know. Maybe they'll put it
Oh
in there. Rey
man.
Mysterio.
Man, Vince is a fucking crackhead, man.
Speaking of crackheads, no, I don't know. I don't know if that goes into it.
Oh,
The TNA Slammiversary live this Saturday, which was yesterday, as we talked about. 4 years to the day of the I versus I match. Now, from the Verdun Auditorium in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, is sold out. Which is cool that this TNA event got sold out. Slammiversary, we could talk about it. I know it got a few of the match results. Oh, I do have the match results here.
oh, nice. Yes, I had them written down here too.
Mm-hmm. Seemed like a pretty big, long event. Like, there's a lot of matches here.
Yeah, so according to this, there was 4 matches in the pre-show, the countdown to Slammiversary, and then 8 matches on the regular card. So that's
All
a
right.
pretty good amount. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, no, for real. I'll just read a few here, and then we'll look at the videos you sent me of the stuff that did go down. Fatal 4-way match. Tasha Steeles defeats Fabi Apache, Giselle Shaw, and Zaya Brookside when Steeles pinned Brookside via double leg hook. I guess. I don't know.
Man, I like Zaya Brookside. Is she the one I'm thinking of? The one that
Is
fought
she?
Athena in Ring of Honor? She's like the tiny white girl with the blonde hair.
She sounds familiar. I don't know if I know her from her promoting her OnlyFans, or is she in Power Slap too? I don't remember where I saw that name last
What
time.
the fuck?
I
For
might
real?
have saw her promoting her Fansly or OnlyFans. Maybe. I don't know. That name rings a bell faintly.
Let me see. I was trying to find a tweet that I saw regarding it, like with TNA, but that makes me happy that they actually sold out, man. Like they're heading in the right direction. That makes me happy.
Yeah, it's good that they sold out, and they're obviously booking arenas that they can fill, unlike other promotions. But
No, I forgot it was like some auditorium that they had, but like the way they had the stage set up, like it felt like a really big event because not only was it sold out, but that crowd was pretty hyped for some of the stuff. Like we'll see in the videos that I sent you. and it just looked like a fun show. It made me sad that I was thinking, man, I really wish I watched this last night.
You see here, it says here tonight's main event between AJ Francis and PCO will now be under Montreal Street Fight rules. I don't know if maybe that was a co-main event. Gia Miller interviewed Smoke Dizza, Josh Bishop, and First Class, which is AJ Francis and Rich Swann, but they were interrupted by Sami Callihan, who said he would watch Francis's match closely after Francis said that Callihan can be upgraded. Kushida defeats Rich Swann via hoverboard lock submission.
I love that shit. Hoverboard lock.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
The hoverboard? I think it's kind of like the Kimura lock that Brock Lesnar does with the arm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right.
that's his finisher. And Kushida, he's very like Back to the Future themed, like his whole gimmick, and I just love that. It's fucking awesome.
This Gia Miller interviewed Ash by Elegance and her personal concierge. TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championship match. Masha Slamovich and Alicia Edwards defeat Spitfire, which is Danny Luna and Jody Threat, when Edwards pinned Threat with a bulldog off the ropes. See, a bulldog is a finisher, I guess.
Wow. I didn't think in the same episode I was going to be proven wrong. Look at that.
It was off the rope.
Cheers. It was I had to use 2 finisher slots to make that bulldog off the ropes.
Yeah, you had to taunt it up pretty rowdy.
No, pumping up by Jays.
Santino Marella appeared and thanked the audience for the biggest TNA gate in 10 years.
Damn.
He announced a surprise match between Eric Young and Alex Hammerstone.
Okay.
Is he like in charge there at TNA?
You know what? He is. And I totally forgot that he was like an authority figure in TNA. And he still kept his name too, so I think that's pretty cool as well.
That's pretty cool. I keep hearing that he's not a very good person, but I'm glad he's doing good stuff there at TNA.
Is he not a good person?
Damn. Well, no, I just hear Jim Cornette talk shit about him, but Jim Cornette talks shit about everyone. So.
Oh yeah, he does talk shit about everybody. Okay, so Santino must be a good person.
Yeah. So Eric Young defeats Alexander Hammerstone via a roll-up pinfall, which Alexander Hammerstone's the one with the helmet, right?
The one with the headpiece?
Yeah.
No, that's Josh Alexander.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, I forgot what his name is. Something Machine. They'll probably say his nickname, but Josh Alexander, he's the one with the wrestling headgear.
I like him. He's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah. Ooh, we'll get to him. We could probably talk about it when we get to the results of that match too.
Mm-hmm. And then it says the main pay-per-view begins now. I didn't know we hadn't started it yet. Matt Hardy defeats JDC via pinfall after the Twist of Fate.
Yep. So supposedly that guy JDC has been causing havoc to the Hardys, that he attacked Jeff Hardy and like Rebby Hardy. And so Matt Hardy ended up winning and getting his revenge. And then he did like a bunch of Twist of Fates to JDC where they're like, stop it now. Like, this is too much. And like Matt Hardy just got his revenge like for his family.
That's good. It's always good to get revenge for your family. Revenge helps you sleep at night.
I imagine Matt Hardy with the fucking sleeping cap, the with the ball that just hangs right here.
In a long gown.
Yeah, the long gown, the fucking bunny slippers.
Yeah.
He goes to use the restroom. He has like the candlestick on the dish, like walking through the hallway.
He's walking all stiff, like without his knees moving or anything. Yeah, just having to pee. TNA Tag Team Championship match. ABC, Ace Austin and Chris Bay defeat the System, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers to win the titles when Austin pinned Edwards with the fold to win the titles. Okay.
Yes, the new champs we got there for ABC. I think that's fucking funny. The name's just ABC.
Mike Santana defeat Jake something via pinfall with Spin the Block. Okay.
Okay. Good for Mike Santana. I always like Santana, man.
Mm-hmm. The Rascals, Wesley, Zachary Wentz, and Trey Miguel defeat No Quarter Catch Crew, Charlie Dempsey, Tavion Heights, and Miles Bourne via pinfall after the hot fire flame.
I actually really like that finisher. I don't know if you know about this match, but Wesley, he's the guy from NXT.
I don't remember that guy. Let me see.
Yeah, Wesley, he was the one that fought Obafemi in the last pay-per-view.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, the
yes.
little dude that I remember him.
Yeah,
That's cool.
so Wesley originally was part of this tag team in TNA. You know, he was part of the Rascals with Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz. But the thing was, Trey Miguel stayed behind, and Zachary Wentz and Wesley both went up to NXT, and they were MSK, and they became tag team champions. But I think I told you before that there was controversy with Zachary Wentz because his ex-wife claimed that he was an abuser and all this other stuff, but it turned out all of that was fake. And they ended up finding photos of him like dressed up as Hitler, like for a Halloween costume.
Okay, this sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, so they let him go, but he went back to TNA to team up with Trey Miguel, so Wesley was by himself. And then since they had this partnership with TNA, they got the Rascals back together for a short time. Not unless they're going to call up the Rascals to NXT to keep them as a faction, or maybe Zachary Wentz might come back, or I don't know what's happening. But it's just cool seeing them all back together too. And if I remember correctly, I do know this, but No Quarter Catch Crew, that whole team is from NXT. So this whole match is like NXT versus TNA, which is pretty neat. And that guy Charlie Dempsey, if I remember correctly, that is William Regal's son.
I thought he was the actor from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Danny DeVito?
Oh, one of the other ones. I don't know.
Charlie Day?
Yeah, there you go. That's what I thought it was. Patrick Dempsey. And I don't know.
Yeah, but Charlie Dempsey, if I remember correctly, that is William Regal's son. And I heard this match was really good too. Fucking that hot fire flame is when Zachary Wentz does the standing moonsault, but Wesley pushes him, so it's like a moonsault, but like corkscrew, and then he falls on top of the guy, like slams him, pins him. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
It's like it makes this matches where I'm just like, fuck. I feel like I should have watched it because that was a match I was looking forward to.
Well, that's pretty good. No, it's and that was a 3-on-3, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 6-man tag team.
Next was the TNA Digital Media Championship and International Heavyweight Championship match. A Montreal Street Fight. PCO defeat AJ Francis via pinfall after the PCO salt. And I see we have footage here of some of it going down.
Yes, so with this match, there was a lot of interference. And I'm just going to let you watch this.
Looking at the points of the chair, the spine of those steel chairs together. Bishop, he's got
Oh, damn, that's a big guy.
shoulders. Look at this. Oh my God.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Dude, PCO is that motherfucker that will take bumps like crazy.
So for audio listeners, they have two folding chairs, the metal ones, just put back to back like in musical chairs, and the dude like razor's edged him onto the top of those chairs, and yeah, he took that bump real nasty. Like, I guess as safe as anyone could take that bump, but
dude, I don't think so because PCO fucking takes bumps like really fucking ugly. And it just everything looks painful, but he kind of reminds me of like Mankind of like tossing his body around and taking gnarly bumps.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you know this about PCO, but he used to wrestle. He used to wrestle for WWE back in the 90s, like early 90s. I think it's the Quebecers. Like, what are the Quebecers? I don't know if you remember, but they're like the dudes dressed up in like the police
Mounties?
uniform.
Yeah.
Is it the Mounties? Oh man.
No, the Quebecers sound familiar.
I want to say it's the Quebecers. Excuse me. Quebecers. And then if you look up images,
Yeah.
he was part of them.
Yeah.
He's the shorter one.
Yeah, he looks that looks like him.
Man, look at those belts, man. So beautiful.
No, he took that bump pretty fucking rowdy.
Mm-hmm.
But he did win the match, and yeah, he defeats AJ Francis via pinfall after the PCO assault. After the match, Steph DeLander returned from Australia and proposed to PCO, to which PCO responded by saying, "Oi," or "we." What is that? We. I can't read. Oi, Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy. So we have this footage here of her, I guess.
I popped so big for this too.
PCO.
Wait a second.
PCO. Will you marry me?
Wait, listen. Yes, dude. I love this.
He said we.
What is happening?
Very well, you know what this means. We're going to have a wedding.
An unholy, undead wedding is on the horizon.
That was pretty good.
Man, I love that, dude. That's what wrestling's all about, man. Like undead monsters getting married and winning championships.
That was great. That I like that Steph DeLander. She's cool.
Yeah, me too.
Let's see here. After that, TNA Knockouts World Championship match. Jordan Grace defeats Ash by elegance via pinfall after the Juggernaut Driver.
Ooh, cool. Juggernaut Driver. That sounds intense.
Yeah, it sounds all X-Men like. TNA X Division Championship match. Speedball Mike Bailey defeats Mustafa Ali via sharpshooter submission. After a ref bump, Trent Seven was undercover as a Riot Squad member and laid out Ali's group, but was then Ali took him out with the chair. Referee Earl Hebner made his TNA return to take over as ref. And I know we do have some footage here of that. Let me see.
Yeah, so with this match, Mike Bailey, he's actually there from Quebec. So he was like the hometown hero.
Let's see here.
You know, this is Mike Bailey's finisher. It looks so gnarly.
Ali in prime position here.
Ooh, damn.
Cover.
Wait. Did you see us? Yes, the referee
It was on the rope.
You're absolutely right, Ray. Well, Frank Gastineau said Ali's foot was on the.
Yeah, his foot was on the rope. That was a rowdy finisher for everyone just listening. Ali was bent over conveniently in front of the ropes while Speedball did what would you call it? Was it
like a shooting star press? But
yeah.
Instead of landing with his body, he lands like with his knees straight into his fucking back.
Yeah, that's pretty rowdy.
Oh man, you just hear it like pat, like clap on his back, and then Mike Bailey goes for the pinfall, but when he rolls him over to pin him, Ali's foot is caught sitting on top of the bottom rope.
Yeah.
So the count was not counted for.
And so the Mustafa Ali, since they're in Quebec, he brings out one of the most hated referees from Quebec. So we'll listen to this footage here.
Division title matches turned into absolute chaos.
Wait, Ali signaling to the back here. No way! That is the Hall of Famer, Earl Hebner. Ali had a plan all along town. You gotta love it. Hebner, who's one of the men at the center of one of the greatest controversies in the history of pro wrestling, the damn Montreal Screwjob. It's actually
Man, I
That's
think
pretty
that's
cool.
cool that they can mention Montreal Screwjob on TNA TV.
Yeah, it's something that like everyone knows about at this point. Even like I don't know, even people that aren't really wrestling fans know about the Montreal Screwjob.
I know, man, but Earl Hebner is so old, man. Well, obviously he was old at the time it happened, but I mean he looks healthy for his age. I don't know how old Earl Hebner is. I'll look it up real quick, but he looks good though.
Yeah, I mean, but think about it. He used to run down there and like do slides into the fucking shit and take bumps like Rowdy, you know. So, I mean, but yeah, it's good to see him still there, unless it's his twin.
This with this picture right here, how old do you think Earl Hebner is?
60.
He is 75 years old.
Really? Wow, he does look good for 75.
Dude, May 17th, 1949.
Wow, he does look good for 75.
Dude, he just missed World War II. That's crazy. I mean, that's good, but that's
Yeah.
crazy.
And
Holy shit.
here's a redeeming. Okay, so here's Mike Bailey is your new TNA X Division Championship with the sharpshooter in Canada. Earl Hebner has redeemed himself. Let's check out the clip.
Here's your winner by submission, and your new TNA X-Division champion,
That's cool. That he,
Dude, that crowd is hot, man. Like that's what gives me goosebumps too, man. It's like I love when you get a good pop out of like a hometown win. I don't know, I'm a sucker for that shit, dude. It's like I love that.
yeah, and that's cool that they added a little extra salt to the thing, or spice to it by putting Earl Hebner to call out the sharpshooter and him win it. That was pretty cool.
I know. Then afterwards, he grabbed the mic and he just went, "I'm 75 years old. Hey!"
I'm getting the
Like,
fuck out of here. He just got the fuck out of there.
He's in a 72 Chevy Impala, like broken down and everything, because it still has value, but it's all broken down.
He sits at the bus stop.
Oh, dude, if I saw Earl Hebner at the bus stop, I'll give him a ride.
Or he takes one of those, like, you know, the Via buses, the old, where they come and pick up the old people.
Oh, the trans ones?
Yeah.
The Via Trans? Oh,
Yeah.
man, don't say that. That makes me sad.
The last match on this card here, TNA World Championship, 6-man elimination match. Nick Namath defeats Moose and Josh Alexander and Steve Macklin and Nick Namath. So did he get defeated twice? And Frank Kazarian and Joe Henry. Order of elimination: Steve Macklin by Moose, Moose by Henry, Henry by Alexander, Alexander by Namath, and Kazarian by Namath via pinfall.
So in this match here, Josh Alexander actually turned heel because right after Joe Henry pinned Moose, there were still 4 of them, which was Joe Henry, Frankie Kazarian, Josh Alexander, Nick Nemeth. And Josh Alexander went for the fucking low blow on Joe Henry, and people were fucking mad because he was the third one eliminated, I think, in the 6-pack challenge. So everyone I saw online saying that, man, TNA fucked up, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. Maybe that just means bigger plans for Henry. Maybe he's going to go to NXT.
He's been showing up over there, right?
Yeah, he's been showing up a lot as a commentator. They say he's like literally the commentator said his name and he showed up dressed up to do commentary with them. It was
That's
great.
cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. No, they must have like a lot of weird plans, like not weird, but plans for him to like really cross over and go here and there and here and there. So that's cool that he's able to do that. And Nick Namath, I mean, that's fine. I have nothing against him being the champion.
Nah, me either. The one thing that actually I'm happy about is they didn't do. It's another AEW comparison where it's like they get somebody new and then they give them the belt automatically.
Mm-hmm.
Because how long has Nick Namath been there for? I think you want to say like a year already, maybe at least like 6 months to a year.
Yeah, quite a while.
Yeah, so like he had to. They gave him a championship match, but he lost, and then he had to work his way back up. That's the shit I like seeing. Like that's what I like compared to like Mercedes Moné winning 2 belts in her 2 matches that she's had. Where, how do you say? Who else? Like Ospreay showing up, and now he's having a championship match. Well, he just lost the belt.
Okada got a belt pretty quick, right?
Oh yeah, he did
Ring
get a
of
belt
Honor
pretty quick. But I feel like Okada's an exception because Okada's Okada. He's
Yeah.
funny. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button. I'm so sorry. Bitch.
That's great. Well,
But overall, it seems like a good show.
Yeah. I don't know how much it was, and I didn't really. I mean, I'm sure there was better advertising because it was sold out. The event, and then they had the pay-per-view. I don't know how the pay-per-view is going to do, or as far as like the pay-per-view buys or whatever, but it seemed like it was a success, the whole thing. Everyone went pretty big for it.
Hopefully it continues like that and they can sell out like bigger arenas.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to see if I can find a price for.
Yeah, I don't know if it's $30.99, $39.99, or $49.99.
Let me see. If I hit watch now.
Mm-hmm.
World champion. So they got tiers. For a whole month. Oh, so you can subscribe for the whole year. It's $220.
Oh, because it's TNA Plus. Okay,
Yeah,
I get what you're
yeah.
saying.
So it's all the content they have, and then the pay-per-views.
That's cool.
Wait. I'm sorry. US $219.99 per year includes access to all live pay-per-view events, including Slammiversary on July 20th, which just happened. All exclusive live specials, including Emergence, which is August 30th coming up. New episodes of TNA Impact simulcast every Thursday at 8 p.m. The full content library and digital first content. And then they have where you can just buy the pay-per-view separately, and the pay-per-views are $40 each.
That's not bad.
It includes live broadcasts and unlimited replays for up to 30 days if you buy the pay-per-view. Which that's pretty good to have it for a whole month, because I think when WWE used to do it, when you bought the pay-per-view, it was only for the week. But like back then, the pay-per-views were like fucking $50 each. $50 or $60. Yeah, they were hella expensive. Yeah, but no, that doesn't sound bad at all. Like, it sounds like a decent plan.
No, it sounds pretty good.
I wouldn't buy it. No, I'm just kidding. Like, if I had the expendable income, which I don't at the moment, I would buy it.
Yeah. No, I'm glad they're getting their flowers by being promoted pretty well, and having this cross pollination with WWE seems to be helping. So I'm glad they're getting their exposure.
It's a best for business. That's my Did I sound like Triple H?
A little bit, yeah. You sound like
Thanks.
what's his name doing a Triple H impression? That dude from
no,
glasses.
Wrestling with Regret.
Yeah, he sound like
that's
him.
why that's the one I go for. It's like, hey, I'm gonna have sex with all these ladies.
Speaking of the best, and I don't know, and updates. Here's an injury update from Big E. Big E. Let's see how he's doing. 1 month and change post stem cell infusion update. Let's see how he's doing.
Good, glorious day to all of you beautiful people. It has been a month and change since I went down to Cancun for stem cells. I was infused. My body was infused with millions upon millions of stem cells that are now rolling around in my body and doing the work. They're doing something in there. Anyways, I feel great. Something I highly recommend. I didn't have any issues with pain, so I haven't noticed a change there. But I'm excited to see how the stem cells percolate inside my body and the work that they do. But I feel great, and I'm really excited about it. It's something that I've learned about over the last couple of years and has done wonderful things for so many people. So yeah, I'll update you all as these months proceed, let you know how the body is doing. But I feel great, and I'm excited to see what stem cells do for me. So thank you, Reju Stem. I appreciate you. Thank you for all the beautiful care you did inside my body. Yeah.
Man, I miss Big E so much, dude.
I'm glad he's doing great. He sounds like he's doing great, and he recommends going to Cancun if you can to get
Get
stem
some
cells.
cells. So, okay, I'll do that next week when I get paid, Biggie.
You know,
Thanks.
you're right. Biggie Atora or whatever.
Itori,
Atora.
Itori, Big E, Itori, Ewin. I think
Yeah,
that's
my
his name.
back hurts like hell, so I could use stem cells.
So I just
No.
need someone to step on my back. That's all I need.
Oh yeah, no. Speaking of, we could get someone to step on our back. Here's Charlotte Flair, how she's doing with her.
She looks good.
Yeah, no, she looks real good. God, I'm imagining her stepping on my back, like running on my back.
Damn, but she does that backflip she does, but it's like she catches on her hands and like lands all smoothly, and she's just
She
standing on your back.
She does the Ric Flair strut,
On
like
the back. It's her and
on my
Andrade,
back.
but they're doing salsa dancing on your back.
They both do the moonsault onto it, land on their feet. No, I'm glad she's doing well after what was it, an ACL or knee tear or something like really bad.
Yeah, she tore something really, really bad. I
Mm-hmm.
forgot. Was it? What was it that she tore her leg? Because
I
she's
don't
been
know
out for
why.
some time already.
Yeah, but she's been like recovering like super quick compared to like what that injury supposedly would take to recover. So even Big E, I mean, motherfucker, his neck broke. Like that should have killed or paralyzed anyone. And
Mm-hmm.
he's there like I feel great. You know what I mean?
And
Like,
I feel great. I can do this. And they, no, never mind. Never mind. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. Man, that makes me happy. The progress they're making, because I know some. I think it's interesting with MCL or ACL tears that some people could take forever to recover from it, and then other wrestlers are like taking a short amount of time when it comes to it. Cause
yeah,
I don't know how long Charlotte's been out, but I don't know if you know the wrestler, but Cora Jade, she had an injury to her knee as well recently, and this was I think she injured it back in January if I remember correctly, and she responded to a fan like, oh, um, like she's doing ring work now, where running the ropes and stuff, and she replied to a fan because the fan had like I don't know if it was like a sparky remark or if it was just a general question. But she's like, they told me it was going to take 9 months to a year for it to fully heal. She's like, I'm at 6 months. And she's already like running the ropes and stuff like that, like working
mhm.
out on her knees. So, I mean, maybe it's just professional athletes, man. They're just built different.
Well, and then it's modern medicine, the way they could train, and they just know a lot more, and they have the drive for it. Especially someone like Big E could have just broken his neck and been like, "Well, I'm done for the rest of my life." You know what I mean? Like nah, his big old thick neck saved him, and he's got the attitude of like, they haven't okayed me to go back to the ring yet, but I'm making sure, he's still, I'm sure, in the gym. He's not like just giving up the life or saying, "No, I need to retire."
Yeah. I want him to retire, and then he has, on his own time. But I imagine him like out in the country, maybe like 2 acres, 3 acres of like farmland. And like he has a rocking chair like on his porch, and he has like a cup of sweet tea like with condensation there on the glass because it's been sitting there for a little bit. You can tell I've been thinking about this for some time.
And then they're both still to me like stars, like yeah, they haven't been in front of the cameras of WWE, but well, I mean, Big E has whenever he does like press events or whatever, and I think he's great for that. Even if they were to just leave him as a commentary type person, like I'd
Mhm.
be fine. I'd be fine with that. Or what is it, like an ambassador? I'd be
Mhm.
fine with that.
No, he's doing good as he does like the color commentary for some of the pay-per-views, like the pre-shows and stuff, and then the post shows as well, and he does a really good job. He really
Yeah,
does.
yeah, he's a great personality. And then Charlotte Flair, um, she could legit like, and I'm not saying this in a knock on, I'm saying in a knock on wood type of way, but she could retire right now and still be known as one of the greatest women to ever wrestle, if not the greatest.
Oh no, yeah, she's definitely up there. And it's
Yeah.
like even if she wants to retire, she could still like coach or like give like life advice or shit like that. She still make fucking hella money off of it too.
Hmm.
I mean, as much shit as we talk about Ric Flair, she has the Flair name attached to her, so that's like some credibility that she has. And plus like her in-ring ability, like it establishes herself as like, oh, she doesn't really need her father anyway to
No,
be successful.
no, she's already established herself as one of the greatest women wrestlers, and will be remembered as such too. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
I mean, not that I'm thinking she's already gone. I'm just saying, like, she could stop right now and her legacy's still intact, cemented. But she's gonna come back just as strong.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Mhm. Speaking of strong, no, I don't know. We're going. We're
Just
going.
cementing a legacy.
Yeah, we're going back to AEW, where MJF has defeated Ospreay to become the new AEW International Champion after a just under 60-minute match. So the match went to the last second. There was a 60-minute time limit, and MJF pinned Ospreay to win the belt. What did you watch the match?
I did not because
I watched it.
you did. What's your opinion on the match? I might try to find a YouTube video just so I could watch it. I got time.
Well, it was on Hulu. I have Hulu. We'll have the DVR of it.
Mm.
My opinions. The match itself was good. The ref was terrible. I think it's like he knew like the spots ahead of time, so it's like he was
Is it the
unbelievable.
bald one?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, dude, he's fucking terrible. I don't
The
care for him at all.
My only complaints were the ref and the commentary, because the commentary too, like there was a lot of false finishes at certain points, or a lot of like maneuvers, and they would just like glance over them like they were nothing. You know what I mean? Like, when Osprey's doing all his flips and MJF was kind of matching him,
Mhm.
tick for tat or tick for tack or whatever. And the refs were, I mean, the commentary was just like, oh, this flip, that flip, this flip. And then they start talking about something else. And, oh, let's go on to this next move. It's like they knew what was already going to
Mm.
happen, so they weren't like surprised about it. And if it were like JR or someone else commentating, I don't know who else, but they'd be like, look at that, oh, like they had no enthusiasm for it. And I felt
Yeah.
like the crowd were there for it, the crowd were enthusiastic, I liked it, but the ref and the commentary threw me out of the whole match. Otherwise, it was a good match. Yeah, and I don't know. That's all I could say, is that the ref and the commentary really screwed it up for me.
Let me see. I'm trying to find a tweet where this account that I follow a lot of they were talking about that match where they could understand like why people hated it, because from what I understood, based like reading it off of Twitter, like some of the spots they had were really fucking great, but it was like, how do you say, like some of these matches that they do is like the no selling of some moves, where sometimes that annoys me because I know Ospreay loves doing that shit sometimes. Where it's like a wrestler does one of their moves and then just out of nowhere he does a fucking Os cutter, and then or like the not Os cutter, a hidden blade. He does this hidden blade finisher, and like I could totally tell, um, like it pisses a lot of people off, and then I'm also on that other half where I'm like, fuck, dude, like this match looks badass. Like I wish I would have seen it. Like I wish I would have seen it. But how do you say? It did have some highlights. Like some of the moves they did were really good, and just like the soft spot, the soft spot in my heart, where that little girl was able to chop MJF, and like MJF like fucking flipped him off, and then they start beating the shit out of him. Like that's cool. It's like that's gonna be a
core memory.
a core memory for that person. This tweet I was trying to look for real quick. It's from Humble Wrestling, and they were talking about the same match because I thought it was interesting as well. I wanted to get your opinions on it since you saw the match. They put MJF versus Will Ospreay started off very fast paced, and I thought it would. They did a bunch of moves before MJF slowed down the pace with their figure four leg lock and taking out the leg of Ospreay, and most of his offense, which was unsuccessful because he did the moves anyway. Then MJF went for his left shoulder and again tried to slow down the pace, and he was kind of successful this time. They went for the crowd brawl where the little girl got a lifetime memory of beating up MJF on live television. After that, they did lose me for a while, and they returned to the ring, and it just started doing shit, which is ... understandable because it's really difficult to have fans' attention for a full 60 minutes. I think a 30-minute match would have worked better here for that reason because less chances of fill the time spots. My hot take for this match would be it was enjoyable, but I get why people wouldn't like it.
Yeah, no, I thought it was good. Like I said, I could see the whole like attention span because it being an hour-long match is pretty rowdy. But I was engaged the whole time. There were times like that, like it said, where the pace slowed down and sped up to slow down, and then the selling. But I'm used to that already with AEW matches. So that didn't really bother me in this match. Here in this picture, it has 5.75 stars rated per Dave Meltzer, and it shows the hard side camera crowd
Oh
for this
man,
match.
what crowd?
Yeah, I know what crowd, but like I said, I think it was the ref and the commentary that like ruined it for me. I thought the match was great. Here's a little clip right here I'll show of the match.
The smartest wrestler
Now I saw this spot on Twitter, dude. This shit look fucking gnarly as hell.
No, it was like I said, a good match, and I don't know. I just here's another like little meme here. Me after giving my wife the best 4 seconds of her life.
It's a, like, oh man, me myself. It's like I'm a wrestling fan, and I can sit through a 60-minute match, and see like whether or not I'm going to be entertained or not, because I know MJF and Bryan Danielson did it at one of the pay-per-views because I think they had a Iron Man match, and I remember watching that with friends. But when we were watching it, I just remember thinking like, "Fuck, dude! Like there was just 10 matches before, and then this is the main event, and it has to be an hour long." And so all of us, like by the 6th match in, we're just kind of just chilling and doing our own thing. But with that match, it was so fucking good because first off, I know MGF could keep up with pretty much anybody, which is, I would definitely put him up there as like one of the better professional wrestlers like in this new generation. Bryan Danielson is just fucking awesome. And I feel like with me personally, I like if it's a long match, they start off slow and then they they build up a crescendo and then it ends off like on a high note, which
Mhm.
it did. But even then, I think that match lasted like another 7 minutes because it was a fucking God forbid it was another tie like right at the end. So it was just like, oh my god, like it has to be another fucking tie. Like I feel like I'm really more into like the slow build ups instead of it like being fast paced because then at that point I felt like they fucking did everything.
this
But
was this
go
was a
ahead, go
good
ahead.
match. This was a good match though, like that it started like you're saying how that one was like 6 matches in. This was like the first match on the card. So
Mm-hmm.
that was a plus too. That this happened to be the opener of AEW, whatever it was, Dynamite, I guess.
Yeah, the 250th episode of Dynamite, I think.
Yeah.
And two, my other gripe is, and I don't know if you saw the tweet with AJ Styles, but Will Ospreay did the Styles Clash
Oh
to
yeah.
MJF, and then he kicked out, and everyone's saying like, "Oh, you're diminishing the Styles Clash because that's supposed to be a finisher, like it's one of the best finishers, blah blah blah." And that AJ Styles went and tweeted said that he felt honored because he felt like it pays a homage to the wrestler who made the move. Hence, like I guess like the Canadian Destroyer, DDT. But it's like that's a move that everybody does now, like to
Hmm.
get like a pop. The one thing that bugs me, it's like I agree, it's like maybe it is paying homage like to the wrestler, but when you do a fucking Styles class off the second
The
rope
second rope.
and then just for them to kick out of it, it's like, man, dude, that like there has to be a fine line where it's just like this is just gonna be another transition move where it's like other wrestlers are just gonna make another transition move instead of it being a finisher. That's the
Hmm.
thing that bugs me as far as like matches like this. And like, was this match like no disqualification or was it just a regular?
Oh, you know what? That too, and that's where the ref pissed me off. Is that he would never, when they were down, he wouldn't count to 10. When they were
Mhm.
outside of the ring, he wouldn't count them out. That's where I was like, the ref is ruining this match because he should be counting if they're down. You know how they're both down on the ring. He's like
Yeah.
1. He didn't do any of that, and then he didn't count when they were outside, like in the stands or
Mhm.
outside by the fucking commentary or something. Like he just let them out there, like, come on, get back in the ring, get back, and but never counted to 10. And it was like, dude, you're not counting to 10. Like, what? Do your job, you know?
Mhm. And it's like I feel like that should be an established rule too, because it's like we've seen where they count to 10
Mm-hmm.
because they'll do that shit where once they get to 9, the wrestlers dive back in the ring to make it a close call.
Mm-hmm.
And like that doesn't bug me, but it's like, dude, like if you're gonna count for one match, do it for every fucking match.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's no like set established rule like when it comes to these matches. It's like the same thing with the Danielson MJF Iron Man match from like years ago. I think it was at Revolution, if I remember correctly. That there was, I guess, there was no disqualification because there was like table spots. He did a DDT spot like through the through one of the tables that was sideways. Like they used weapons. Like they definitely used
Mm-hmm.
weapons. But like at the end of the match, like they had like MJF had to hide the fact that he used a fucking fire extinguisher to hit Danielson to knock him out. And it's like that's the drawing point. Like that's where you draw the line to make sure you don't get caught. I don't get it. Like it doesn't that didn't make sense to me, and it still doesn't make sense to me to this day.
Yeah.
It's like it has to be an established rule to let the crowd know if there's like no countouts, no disqualification in y'all's Iron Man matches. I mean, yeah, they're good matches, but it's like a lot of the fans are dumb. They're gonna be like, "Wait, why isn't the ref counting? Or why isn't it
Yeah.
calling disqualification? That should be a point for Ospreay if they use the table." Like, I don't know.
No, it was that's where I said that was one of my other points too, with the ref and the commentary
Mm.
just like not being good for this match, to where it just like threw me out of it. Otherwise, they were both great in it. They did with what they did with the hour, and I was into it. Like I said, it was the first match, so that's cool. But the ref not counting, not doing his job, and the commentary not caring about the moves either, is just throwing me out of it.
Yeah, Yeah, and it sucks because it's like these performers are working their asses off to entertain you, but it's some shit that they do where it makes me question like, oh, okay, so that I feel like that should be a disqualification. But then again, there's also the outside factors, like you said, the commentary. It might be also like the commercial breaks, the fucking referees. Depends how the camera work is, if they catch it, the crowd itself. There's a bunch of other factors too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the spots that they did in this match, like they were fucking good. Like I felt like the selling was pretty good for the most part, you know, for the performers that they are.
Yeah, no, they were good. The crowd was good. It was just like I said, to me, the commentary and the ref are really, and they're a big part of it, you know, especially when you notice they're not really into it. How the fuck am I on TV not able to get? How am I going to get into it? You know, when the crowd, obviously they're on their own wavelength because they can't hear the commentary, but they could see the ref, but they're not going to care because it's already that AEW crowd that's jaded by that shit, you know.
Yeah. But so I guess overall, me personally, I feel like I'm just like being nitpicky, finding something to complain about. I probably rated like a 7 from what I saw, like highlight wise. But I know there's other better matches, like better than this one. Not saying this was a terrible match. Like I would give it fucking 5 stars. But I mean, on my own personal rating, which should matter more than Meltzer's.
I mean, I'd give it like 4 stars. I
Mhm.
wouldn't have given it 5.75, or that might as well be 6 stars. I would give it like 4 stars. It was a good match. It kept me enthralled. The ending was kind of whatever with the ring, like with him punching him with the MJF ring, but it kept me into it for it being an hour-long match. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it was just like by pinfall, right? It wasn't even an Iron Man match.
No, it was just a time limit, and he pinned him like a second or two before.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like 2 seconds before.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I feel like me personally, too, it bugs me that they did this on free TV.
I mean, I get that they were trying to get eyes on the 250th episode, so that didn't really bug me. But how are they going to top anything from that? You know what I mean?
True. Because what other matches did they have? I know Swerve was on there, right? I forget who he was. Oh, Okada. Him and Okada
Yeah,
were
that was,
fighting
you
each
know,
other.
all the matches were good. I watched the whole episode because they had what's her name, the Tony Storm lookalike,
Oh, Mariah
Mariah.
May.
Yeah, they had her come out, I think, and then they had Mercedes versus Nyla Rose. That one was okay. And then
Who
they
won?
had
Was it Mercedes?
Mercedes. Yeah, of course, it was with the belt. Of course, Mercedes won, even though I could not see her winning against Nyla Rose. Or you know, it was I think it was DQ.
It was DQ.
I think so. Who the fuck came out?
Oh, Britt Baker.
No, she did win the match, and then Britt Baker was in the crowd like with a Sting mask. I don't remember
Oh
how she won though.
yes. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Ah man. Okay. So there was just 3 matches total, like for.
Yeah, it really wasn't. And then they had that Mariah May segment, and
Mhm.
then they had the Swerve Okada match, which was good too. It was a good match.
Who won that one?
That one was interference. That one,
Ugh.
everybody came out, like the Elite came out, and then they were already gonna do Swerve with the team of the Scissor Brothers. What is it?
Oh, the Acclaimed.
The Acclaimed with the my God, why is my head going blank? The brother, Mark Briscoe. So it was going to be those
Oh.
4 versus the Elite at either the next pay-per-view or
Oh, Bloody
Collision,
Guts.
maybe. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and then they all came out, and then Darby Allin, they were teased him, and he came like down from the rafters like Sting, and
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, that was pretty cool. But I was worried, like, no, don't let him go. Like he's like, hey, I could take this jump. It's not that high. No, don't.
No, he's in a fucking straight jacket so he doesn't untie himself and shit.
They yo-yo him. Like,
Woo!
But
man,
it was good. It was a good episode overall, considering AEW is kind of a chore to watch. But no, it was a good Iron Man match, I think.
is the episode available on Hulu?
Yeah, it was on Hulu. It wasn't an Iron Man match. It was just an hour-long match. I think it wasn't. I don't know why I keep saying Iron Man match because it's
Yeah, it
hour-long.
might as well be because they do the 60-minute Iron Man matches.
Yeah. So my bad. It wasn't an Iron Man match. It was an hour-long time limit match, and it went all the way to basically the hour.
Man, and that's crazy to think. Like Danielson's done like what, 4 of them, 5 of them since being in AEW.
Yeah,
Because
that's
he
crazy.
did one against Omega. He did one the Iron Man match against the Omega and Hangman one. There was 60-minute time limit. Both were draws. And then he had the actual Iron Man match with MJF. So that's like at least 3. Not unless he had 2 with one with another one with Hangman. I felt like there was 2 with Hangman.
Well, didn't they have 30-minute long Iron Man matches too? Some of the people did.
Excuse me. It's written in the contract they have to do an hour.
Oh, is it?
No, I don't know.
I could have swore someone at some point, I don't know if it was in WWE, NXT, or here, competed in a half-hour long Iron Man match.
Bailey and Sasha Banks.
Maybe it was.
It was the first Iron Woman match, and it was 30 minutes. And that one was really fucking good. That one was really good.
Well, moving on to something that I don't know if you want to say is really good or not. And our final thing on the news, Hulk Hogan was we're going political here. Hulk Hogan was at the Republican National Convention, and he had some things to say. Let's hear, because I haven't heard what he says here. So let's hear what
Jesus Christ.
You're going to speak to him. I can't wait. This is going to be like body slamming the giant at WrestleMania.
What brought you out here? Why are you here?
Well, Brett, I got tired of remaining silent. I sat back and watched the borders collapse. I watched the economy collapse. I watched the price of gas, the price of food, everything just do an upside down flip. And when they took a shot at my hero, Donald Trump, I realized that I couldn't be silent anymore. I had to step up. I had to be a real American, just like all these real Americans here in Donald Trump. I have a voice too, and I want people to know it's time to talk. It's time not to be silent anymore.
I saw your post.
So, what do you think about him at the Republican National Convention, Hulk Hogan?
I mean, I would say whatever they pay me too if I was paid fucking millions of dollars, man. It's like, bro, $1 million? I was like, hell yeah, I'll support Trump too. Shit.
Here's a picture of Hulk Hogan getting ready for his speech at the RNC. For listeners, it's just him spray painting the letters N and then I.
For nitwit.
Yeah. For
For man, I'll stop.
Let me see what else I had here. I thought I had the rest of the video here. Let me see.
What's your opinion about Hulk Hogan appearing at the RNC?
Do that whole RNC. I didn't see the Hulk Hogan part. I watched like the second half of it, and it was just like a circus, like a huge almost like a wrestling promo or like a fight presser,
press conference.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. And I didn't even hear this part, but I thought having Kid Rock kind of open it, and then having Hulk Hogan, Linda McMahon, other people come out and speak, it was very reminiscent of like a presser, like a UFC press conference or a WWE press conference, Let's hear what he has to say here.
But what happened last week when they took a shot at my hero and they tried to kill the next president of the United States? Enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpamania run wild, brother. Let Trumpamania rule again.
Let Trumpamania make America great again.
What do you think of that?
I had to look up to see who was older, because like I don't know, the fact that he calls him his hero, I think that's kind of cringe.
Yeah.
So I had to make sure who was older. I was like, oh, okay, Donald Trump is older.
Is he?
Mm-hmm. Hulk Hogan's
Huh.
70, and Donald Trump was 78.
Damn.
I know it's I don't know, dude. It when it comes to politics, like I don't think we ever really talk politics ever. Like on a friend basis.
Yeah, no,
So
very seldomly, and it's not even indifferent. It's just like, oh, did you hear about that? Oh, yeah, I heard about that. It's not
yeah,
even like indifferent. No.
I think the thing that cringes me out the most is like when a person makes politics like their whole persona.
Yeah,
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 that's the thing that really cringes me out, and it's like me personally. Listen, I could care less because I feel like it's like lesser of two evils because they're just both, Biden and Trump are just two old men who shouldn't be running for anything in the fucking first place. Like there should be like an age cap where
hmm
you can't be running for fucking president.
hmm
But it's so weird because I don't know if politics has always been like this. Yeah, I feel like it's just like a giant shit show or like a reality show. Because I remember, like, when I was younger, you'll see, like, Mitt Romney and Barack Obama, and I don't think I've ever seen anything, like, as goofy as this. Like, it's just so, it's odd, man, and Americans are just sucking this shit up. I mean, you can believe whatever you want to believe in, like, support whoever you want to support. I could give two shits. Whoever you support isn't going to dictate whether or not it's not going to dictate my view on you as like a person. Be like, oh, you support Trump or you support Biden. Oh, you must be a fucking terrible person.
hmm
Where it's just like, I just could care less. I just think it's like cringe. Hulk Hogan's just fucking cringe in general. He didn't even call him Andre the Giant. He called him the fucking Giant. Like that's Big Show. Big Show was the Giant, dude.
That's true. No,
That is true.
the giant son. And here's a clip of Donald Trump blowing a kiss at Hulk Hogan. Let's watch here.
What the fuck?
I don't know why. I think he was just in a mood after almost getting shot at.
Oh, true. Like his
You know?
like his wife. Is he married? He is married,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he's married.
Melania.
Yeah.
He's maybe that bullet shot made him like super horny.
Well, and then he got hit on the gay side of the ear. You know when
True.
it opens up a whole new world there for people.
I know. It was like whatever. More power to him, man. It's 2024.
Here, and I'm the same with politics too, though. Like, I think, like you said, both of them are. This is what did this say? Down since 1988, brother. I think both politicians are evil. It's just about which one is the lesser evil of the two. So that's just how I am with that. And I'm not gonna vote just because, like, I don't think voting actually matters. It's more an illusion of choice.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when I went to go vote for in 2016. My brother and I went to go vote, and we had a family member get mad at us because we did the fucking shit. No matter who wins, and then me and my brother look at each other, we're like, we lose, and they're like, no, there's only one person that you vote for, and that it's gonna bring this country down to shit. I'm like, okay, dude, that's why we don't invite you anywhere. Like, I don't know, man. It like, I try to vary away from politics because I feel like that and religion are very touchy subjects to talk about with other people.
Oh yeah, I went with a girl, or my cousin. I went with my girl cousin to see Obama speak, and that's the only time I voted, and I only voted just because a girl asked me to. I think that's the best motivation to do it. It's just to be like, yeah, I'll do it just because you.
And it
You want
worked.
me
Maybe
to.
maybe the vote relied on you.
Maybe.
Well, I didn't say
I
it
don't
was
know.
like off by like 1%. You know.
Yeah. One vote.
Oh, dude.
0.0000.
Yeah. So I don't. I'm probably not going to be motivated to go vote this year. It's this
Mhm.
year, right? That in November
In January? Oh yeah, November. I don't know why. January is when they're
inaugurated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is what it is, man. It's just like one giant reality TV show,
Hmm.
a shit show, and it's just kind of embarrassing for the country.
Here's Hulk Hogan revealing why he publicly came out.
Well, brother, as an entertainer, you want to sell tickets, and you really don't want to split your audience. You know, you don't want to say, I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican. You want all kind of people. Entertainer.
Okay, when I said Hulk Hogan coming out, I didn't mean gay. I meant wrestling legend Hulk Hogan reveals. I should have finished that sentence.
Oh, I was like, he's
Yeah.
gay?
Wrestling legend reveals why he publicly came out as a Trump supporter. So let's hear that. That's what I meant to say.
Oh, okay. I thought I was like Democrat. Wait, what?
I should have finished my thought there. My bad.
Well, brother, as an entertainer, you want to sell tickets, and you really don't want to split your audience. You know, you don't want to say, I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican. You want all kind of people come to see you perform. I stayed silent for so long. It was killing me. I watched the border crash and burn. I watched the economy crash and burn. I watched Trump's family be compromised. I watched his business. I watched him try to put him in jail. I was silent and I hardly could hold my tongue. And then when they took that shot at him and tried to kill our leader, that was it for me, brother. I couldn't do it anymore. But that's why I stayed silent, because it was a business decision. It was a weak decision. It was a cowardly decision. But now that's over with, brother. I'm on the team.
But what
So
was the
there he
business
is on the team.
decision to support Trump?
No, I think it was because if he had decided to choose him, well, I guess it was a business decision because of all the businesses failing. Maybe with Biden, I don't know. Maybe it was the better decision.
I don't know, because I feel like the border wall wasn't really failing. It's always like
It's always
they're
been an
like they'll
issue.
find ways to fucking come over anyway, like across the border wall.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's been like that for fucking years.
Mexicans
So
are resilient, or any
yeah,
border, even in Canada, they have immigrants there.
yeah, exactly. It's like, but no one's talking about that border.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that where all the meth is coming from anyway?
Supposedly, right? I think
I know. It's like, and they just
cocaine's
want
coming.
to. They just want to do the South because we're brown. Oh, boo hoo!
Here's Eugene, Nick Dinsmore. Eugene has never been more proud to be a Hulk Hogan fan. At Real Donald Trump, Trumpamaniacs. Here's Jim Cornette retweeting this. Nick, Eugene is a gimmick. You went to school. You know what an unfit piece of filth you're endorsing. That means you think there's something in it for you to advocate for. A despicable, lying wretch. Please forget you ever knew me. I'll do the same for you. I'm ashamed of you. That's what
Damn.
Jim Cornette had to say to the character Nick Dinsmore, who plays Eugene, even though Eugene is a retarded, autistic type character, and he's on the side of Trumpamania. So I feel like Jim Cornette wouldn't have minded if he was a fan of Eugene was a fan of Trumpamania.
Yeah, right. Dude, oh my god. I feel like that hurts more when he's like, I'm ashamed of you. He didn't even say fuck you or die. He just said, I'm ashamed of you.
Yeah.
I feel like that
you
when
ever
you
knew
hear
me.
that from a parent, it's just like, oof. Oof.
Here's a picture. All three of these people have taken a Stone Cold Stunner, and you have Linda McMahon, Hulk Hogan, and Donald Trump.
How the fuck does Linda McMahon look the fucking same?
Dude, Botox, makeup. Her neck looks a little but it's always it's looked better.
I think you think so? I think it always looked like that. It looks like what do you say? Like when you use a microscope to look on a leaf and then you see like the little the creases. It's always looked like that.
I think it looks better. It's looked better, but I think she looks good. Although, yeah, it is funny that all three of these have taken the Stone Cold Stunner at one point or another.
Oh my god. I don't know. We live in a weird fucking time, dude. Like I'm flabbergasted. I am speechless, literally.
Here's a clip of
so many tag match, so many super
Here's Hulk Hogan versus a bunch of black characters in WWE.
I see Shelton. I see Kofi. I see MVP. I see Austin Creed. I see Bobby Lashley.
That was the last of the news though.
Nice.
Yeah. We go on here to, well, I mean, this is still news, but we're going into botches. This is kind of a botch, I think. This is Camille. Camille signed with AEW and has been sitting at home since January.
Since January? Holy
Yeah.
shit. I felt like we just talked about this like a few weeks ago.
Dude, I know. Well, we talked about her because we were like, where's Camille at? And I remember she signed with them a good while back, or at least she was like waiting until like people kept asking her, where are you gonna go? Are you signing back with NWA? Are you gonna go wherever? And people were saying what like, oh, she didn't want to sign up for or she didn't want to take the NXT deal, so she went with AEW, and I don't know what they're gonna do with her. I mean, she looks great. She looks like a white Jade Cargill.
Nah, dude, she's in great shape. She's hot.
Yeah, she's like a Charlotte Flair, almost like a Charlotte Flair lookalike. So I don't know why they haven't used her.
So she said personally she didn't want to be part of NXT.
I think so. I think they had reported that at some point. I mean, I could. I don't want to be fact checked because I don't care. Well, yeah, you can fact check me. I don't care, whoever. But they said that she didn't want to be part of the NXT, so she signed with AEW. But I mean, I could see her not wanting to go in because it's like, okay, you can go against Tony Storm, Mariah May, get that belt, but there's a story going on there. Or with the TBS championship, but you got Mercedes Moné holding it hostage with her creative control. So what are you gonna do with her?
I mean, I feel like she would do a lot of success in TNA as well. Because TNA has always been known for like their knockouts division, like being the highlight of most of the shows. And plus, like with Jordan Grace being, like the top face of the women's division over there, or knockouts division. I'm sorry. That I feel like she could be like a good competition for.
Well, it would have to be Ring of Honor, no? Because she's Ring of Honor's with the AEW.
No, TNA.
Oh, okay. Oh, you just mean in general? Her being TNA? Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, she'd be great.
I found this Reddit post from r/squared circle on Reddit. It says they have a link to the full article, but it says former NWA Women's Champion Camille at this time is no longer expected to be WWE bound. While there have been interest, according to one WWE source in the past, has been offered an NXT deal. Discussions are not moving forward. Camille has been in deep discussions with AEW and has been seen as a stronger destination for her, as it would allow her to pursue another major personal goal moving forward, additional acting work. So this was 5 months ago.
Well, think about it. They're already showing that deal with the WB and being on Max or whatever, right? So that could open up the door, for them being actors, I guess, with Warner Brothers and stuff and movie pictures.
Yeah. So, I see that. But I feel like even now with WWE as well, now it's like they've been more lenient with their superstars performing in like other types of like media. I mean, there's like their streaming services. There's Twitch. I mean, a lot of wrestlers have been doing Twitch, Cameo. Other ways to make a bunch of money. And I feel like with all the sponsors they're getting too, it could be more promotion for the company.
Yeah, I guess, but we didn't see too that NXT. I mean, I didn't see it that NXT was going to be so friendly with TNA. You know what I mean? Like they're being real friendly with TNA, where they're both like doing stuff over here, doing stuff over there, like that Joe Henry stuff, where it's kind of going on in two different places at once, or having the different, that prohibited portal is just staying open. It's not just happening one event and that's it. It's like they're constantly helping each other out, and that's pretty cool.
Maybe and it's helping out both companies. Like I mean, maybe like at the time, like 5 months ago, I wouldn't be saying the same thing because it just started popping up like 3 months ago, I want to say, because
Yeah.
the first big thing was Jordan Grace fighting Roxanne Perez at, what was it? One of the NXT's Vengeance. I think it was Vengeance Day.
And we thought it was just going to be like a one-off. We didn't think it was like
And then,
a constant helping each other, you know?
and look what they're doing now. It's like NXT had a really great pay-per-view at Heatwave, Money in the Bank weekend. Slammiversary just sold out, and they had a good crowd, a good show, and they had NXT wrestlers go and perform over there as well. So that's fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, not a knock at AEW, but it's like the last show they only had 3 matches in the 2 hours, like for the live show. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hopefully Camille debuts soon. I would love to see her. She looks great.
Yeah. I'm hoping she's good, and I just wonder. I hope they do good things with her, especially like. I mean, yeah, I don't want them to do the like you said, the whole let's bring her right in immediately for a championship match. Like, yeah, I don't think they should do that, but I hope they bring her in and utilize her well, you know.
I still feel like AEW is trying to figure out their footing as far as like the women's division.
That's not good that they're having to try so hard when they have so many good women, you know, but whatever.
So I feel like we talk about this like once every episode. I feel like we
Really.
honestly do.
What we don't talk about enough is hindering the Jinder. Jinder Mahal made his GCW debut.
Hey,
Are you? And plants Effie! Is that? It is!
The Maharaja!
Raj Desi! On a second, there's another match.
Raj Desi. That's his name now, Raj Desi.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw parts of his interview with Chris Van Vliet. He seems like a very, very humble and nice person.
I watched that interview. Same here. He seems like a cool cat.
I know. I would have a cup of coffee with him, and even though I don't really drink coffee.
No, I hope they don't hinder him there in GCW.
I know. It's just like I hope not. They better not hinder the Ginger.
Here's someone they tried to hinder, and I watched this interview yesterday. They told me to leave and that I'd never be a pro wrestler. Batista trying out for WCW. This is him on Jimmy Fallon. Let's listen to the clip.
That you would go into WWE, or is that easy to get into? Or?
No, so that's what I did. I wanted to just lift weights, and I thought I wanted to bodybuild. And 13 years later, I had nothing to show for it. I was just big and jacked, and I was broke. And I thought, what am I going to do? And professional wrestling.
Yeah.
And I actually failed at that.
You didn't.
No. My first tryout was miserable. They told me to leave, and I'd never be a pro wrestler. And
where was that?
That was in Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, it's a place called the Power Plant, which was the WCW at the time.
And so you went there, and
they literally told me to leave.
They said you're not gonna make it. You're never gonna make it. Wow, were they wrong? Oh my gosh, boy, did you make it? Boy, did you make it? Come on, boy, did you make it?
He looks slimmer,
dude. He does, but he's wearing a real skinny suit. He
really is. I mean, he still looks good. He looks happy.
I'm glad.
Batista, always those dudes. I'm like, man, I hope Batista's having a great day.
Dude, and it's crazy that WCW's passed on like weird, like not weird talent, but like how they the Undertaker always tells that story about how they passed on him. Batista, like, I don't know, it's weird.
Triple H, they passed on Triple H.
Dang, that's so weird. The talent that they did pass on, and they ended up being like the biggest, things ever.
They're not utilizing their talent, man.
Nope.
So this is what's going to cause WCW to fail. I'm gonna make a tweet about this. Hold on,
bro. Now here's here's Mercedes Moné.
My CEO, dude.
Yeah, that's okay.
CEO. Got to go.
All right. Good to see you. You're so hot. You okay? I'm okay.
There's Okada sipping for the CEO. What'd you think of that?
Oh, dude, that's so funny. I never seen this. Dude, that is
so hot.
So hot. Oh, dude, he's so funny. Unironically, man, that's so great.
No, he is funny. I really do appreciate him there. What is this? Oh,
Hey yo. Hey yo.
this is me walking into work late every day like it's no
Hey,
big
yo.
deal.
Hey yo.
Just
so
saying,
great.
ayo,
Ayo. Ayo.
ayo, ayo.
Ayo.
I
Ayo.
would always get late to work though. I'd
Nah,
always use
man.
that 14 minutes. I would always be
Oh, dude.
right under 14 minutes.
That's fucking funny. Giselle does the same thing. I
Dude.
remember when she still worked over there that we would leave at the same time because I could drop her off and then I had to work because I could be at work by like 2:30. But she'll wait forever. Like we won't leave the house until 2:10. And she's like, okay, man. I'm like, dude, like I'm gonna be late for work, dude. I was like, you gotta get ready at the same time as me.
Ayo.
Ayo.
Here's Darby Allin.
Over here. This is what they can expect.
Okay. Wow.
That's a little tiny taste of what they can
just
expect.
a little taste for Little Rock of what you can expect. That was wow. You mark.
Dang,
That's
really,
kind of dangerous, right? That's a lawsuit?
dude. He really that dude was probably with him, but that first chop was just like
so dense.
Dude, that first
Get over
chop.
here. This is what they can expect.
Okay.
Dude, that first chop sounded so nasty.
Yeah, that first chop like knocked the air out of him, and then the
Oh
other
yeah,
one
man.
hurt. That was pretty bad.
Don't they have like contracts to like not hit fans?
I'm pretty sure that dude was just one of his like posse because he was already without a shirt on, so he was probably a prepared or a mark. And I don't know.
So a Mark super fan.
Fucking Mark. Fucking Mark. Let's see what it says here. This is wrap it up. Oh, this is Paul White. Paul White in the ring in 2024.
Man, he's still wrestling?
He looks like he's in pain though.
He does look like he's in pain. I mean, he looks okay.
I don't know. He looks like he's in pain. That's to me.
Like, I don't know about like wrap. I mean, yeah, it's 2024. You should wrap it up. But like, as a fact, like he's doing shitty wrestling. He looks so. I don't know. Because 2018, 2017, he was doing those badass matches with Braun Strowman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember those.
No, I don't.
No, it was when like Strowman was doing the fucking kip up and they're like body slamming each other and shit.
Man, poor Paul White. Captain Sano shows no mercy.
Captain Sano needs to wrap it up.
Oh, here's a clip with Tozawa. I like the end of it. Who are those chicks there?
Dude, the one on the right, it's Kathy Kelly, dude. I have hard eyes for her.
And the left, is that the Mandy or Mindy?
I think that's Maxine, right?
Maxine. I always say Mandy.
Nah, dude, Kathy Kelly, I have hard eyes for her, man.
She's pretty.
Yeah. It's just
Here's the pro wrestling at its finest right here.
Oh no. What the fuck? Fuck you.
So if you're just listening to the podcast, there's a dude on like a lever or a plank of wood that's acting as a lever with the rope being the fulcrum. And because I've studied my 6th grade science, and the dude's being lifted into a guy's butt cheeks who's wearing a thong, with his head right into the guy's butt cheeks or his gooch. The gooch might be the better word.
Yeah, the gooch. Yeah,
The
it
gooch.
is a gooch. I wonder what wrestling company this is because I think this happens a lot. I think this is, dude, for real. It's like every week it's something, and I want to say it's like DDT or Noah.
Yeah, there's
Like they
always
have
some
like,
sexual, weird, kinky shit.
yeah, man. I don't know what it is. It comes from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
It's one
But
of them.
lastly, here, speaking of sexual, kinky shit, and finally on the show, here's Bisexual Undertaker and Lesbian Kane.
Bienvenido. Me alegro tener los latinos representando aquí. Me siento un orgullo y te deseo todo lo mejor. ¿Ok? Te presenta.
Man, she'd even stare at his ass. You can tell she's the lesbian king.
Dude, so if you're just listening, you're hearing Damian Priest talk to Stephanie Vodka, and she looks great.
Oh yeah, she does. I wonder how she did in
Yeah.
her match against Isla Dawn.
Was that her opener?
Yeah, they wrestled each other because they took a tour of Mexico, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then that was the day they signed her, and then they're like, "Oh, you want to have a match?" They're like, "Yeah, sure." So they had her match over there.
No, she looks great, and hopefully, she I don't know, gets utilized over there.
Unlike Camille.
Yeah. Oh, poor Camille, dude. That is a hit and a miss if they're not using her. But yeah, no, that's the episode today, guys. I want to thank you for listening or watching, and thank to Richard for being the Ric Flair fan that he is.
Thank you, Richard.
What do you want to say to the people, Gabe?
Thank you, Richard, for being the Ric Flair fan that you are. Let us know, guys, like what y'all listen to, like what y'all want us to cover, what was your favorite story, and give us a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That all helps out the channel.
Hell yeah. Well, we'll see y'all later, guys. Yeah, thank you for listening and like and subscribing, like Gabe said, and take care. We'll see y'all next week. Bye.